Okay, so we are going to be talking about digital farming today, and I'd love to get everybody's ideas on what they think digital farming is too. Also, just going to ask that everybody turns on their camera. I appreciate it. It's no fun teaching to names on a screen. So if you're absolutely at all possible, please turn on your camera. I'm going to be nice for now, but eventually I'm going to start just booting people if they don't turn their camera on. I'm really a nice guy, but I don't like teaching the names. Okay, so in your chat or just come off mute and tell me what you think digital farming might be about. Scott, I see that and I appreciate it. Thank you. I understand that completely. You, Chin, you too.
Yeah, so
Right. I'm
digital farming, in my opinion, you're using the power of social media, computer, any kind of social profile to make connections, to network.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a good idea, Scott. Yep, definitely. That's part of it. Anybody else?
I was going to add to that it's a bit like cold calling, but using the technology and the internet that's out there.
Um, yeah. I see what you mean. It's kind of a so if I try to think about it as cold calling is always kind of a shot in the dark and it's kind of an unpleasant one, right? For a lot of people. If you love cold calling, you're a beast and I'm super jealous and it's just not my thing. I hate it. Um, so yeah, I prefer to hide behind the computer. But I would say, Paul, that what we're gonna talk about, and there's time involved with this. The thing with making cold calls is that when you do get somebody that's ready, then they're ready right then and there, right? How many calls do we have to go through to find that person? A lot, typically. Um, and then the advantage here too is we don't have to worry about any TCPA violations. You have to be careful of it if you're using any kind of digital farming follow up. You got to make sure that people, have opted into text messaging and things like that. But what we're going to talk about is really creating communities on social platforms that create more warm leads, and you organically create community and interaction and involvement, and more of the hey, come list me leads than the hey, do you want to sell your house calls, right? And I think we all love that. I know I do because I hate the phone. Anybody else? All right. Well, we got a pretty good idea of what we're going to be talking about based on those two ideas, and I appreciate the participation for sure. So, just tell you a little bit about me. My name is Brett Bishop. I'm 22 years this year as a realtor, third generation realtor here in Southwest Florida. So I know a lot of you are joining from the Chicago area with the EDP group. And I am here to help you in any way that I can, but I cannot help you with your MLS because I know nothing about it or Illinois contracts. But otherwise, I can help you with pretty much any other real estate technology. I'm a virtual market center tech trainer. Used to be an in-house, in the office market center tech trainer for a long time. And now I'm doing the virtual thing, and I'm able to reach and train and help way more agents by doing it this way. So currently, my partner Dora Cherico and I with Pro2Call, we have 8 market centers, and we're able to reach a lot of agents and help them in their day-to-day struggles with technology, but also in coaching and stuff like that too. I'm a nerd when it comes to gadgets and technology and stuff like that. So I'm heavily involved. One of my biggest passions is podcasting and video. I'm a gadget guy too. So if you ever have any questions about what the hardware looks like for any of that stuff, I can always help. I'm a labs advisor, which means that I'm actually testing a lot of the technology in command before it reaches agents and leadership. So it's basically like a beta tester. All right. And then Realty Tech Guru is a company that I founded. It's mostly, I've done a lot of training room conversions, updating the technology in them, getting away from projectors that are about what, 1920 was the last time we needed one of those. But trying to get away from that and getting more into interactive screens and at least TVs and that sort of thing, cameras and microphones that work for a Zoom and a live audience. And then, of course, I'm the co-founder of Pro2Call too, which is how you guys are all seeing me. All right. So let me ask you this. I know I asked for what you thought digital farming was. What do you hope to learn in this class? And again, you can either come off mute or you can throw it in the chat for me. Angelica, thanks for being here. I see that. Nice to meet you too.
Thank you. I think I just want to get some tips on how to get more clients through all social media.
Okay, good. So hopefully I'll present some new ideas to you that maybe you haven't thought about. And there's nothing here that's earth shattering, really. It's just maybe opening some eyes to things that you didn't really realize was a way to lead generate. All right. Anybody else?
Thank you.
Thank you. Bring people to me. Yes. I love it. Right. That's so much easier than trying to reach out and get them, especially through that phone that I despise. All right. So some good ideas there. Got a little ahead of myself. I went to this one early, so we're going to go on to the next. All right. So our objective today is to learn how to build and maintain a digital farming strategy that nurtures leads, enhances community engagement, and drives real estate business growth. The benefits are that we're going to lead generate without worry of TCP violation. And then the caveat to that is communication within your group or community is certainly TCPA free. But if you do any text or calls, you need to make sure that you are adhering to TCPA rules and regulations. All right. And to be the mayor of your community. So let me ask you guys this. I know I see it there's some Florida groups like this, especially in my immediate area. But do you have any Facebook groups that you're a member of and somebody says, and these aren't necessarily realtor groups, right? These are like community groups, like a neighborhood or your town buy, sell, trade kind of thing. And somebody asks for a recommendation for a realtor and it's a popularity contest amongst like the only 3 names that ever pop up. And it's like, you can't even get a word in edgewise to even offer your services. So it's kind of hard to break into those types of situations. So we're going to look at creating your own community where you're the mayor. And simple fact is, if you don't want to let realtors in, you don't have to. It's your town. And you can call it, this town is realtor free except me. It doesn't matter. Or you can let them in and just not allow them to advertise for themselves. Okay, and that kind of takes care of the next one too, avoid agent popularity contests. And we're gonna grow a community that engages and builds relationships. What are some community groups you can create? Just kind of maybe think outside the box or just think about the basics too. And when I talk about this, let's think about Facebook as the platform. What are some communities that you might be able to create or build a group around?
Anything pop culture related. Star Wars is definitely one of them. Disney.
Yeah, absolutely. I love that one. So Scott, let's talk about that a little bit more. So Star Wars, if I created that community, right? It's pretty broad. I'm not really focused on a geographical area. So I could create like Star Wars fans of Naperville or something like that, right? Or I could keep it more broad and hope for referral situations. I think it might be cool to kind of narrow that down a little bit, though, and get a little bit more focused on a geographic area of that. And you probably know more about that than I do, but those groups tend to be like nation or worldwide, right?
Yeah, you know what? Just thinking about what you said, Brett. You can easily go ahead and do a focus group like that. Like, let's just say lesser known Disney attractions,
Yeah.
or something like that, or Chicago Marvels,
Yeah.
Chicago Wonders.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Absolutely. So that's a great idea. I love that. It's kind of specific to interests, which is awesome. And then as far as the Star Wars type of thing, and then with Chicago Marvels, now we're talking about the actual community and some really interesting like points of attraction, right? Like what am I thinking of? Landmarks and that sort of thing. So yeah, that's another idea. What else? I know you can think of something. I got a smart group here, I can tell.
Dog lovers of South Naperville, something like
There
that.
you go. I love that one. Who doesn't love dogs, right? Should I ask the same about cats? I'm sorry. I'm sorry for all the cat lovers. I'm just teasing. I love both, I promise. But yeah, no, that's a good one. So we've got like Star Wars and what was the other one that Scott said? It was Chicago Marvels. I love that name. And um dog lovers of South Naperville. That's getting specific. I like that. We're really getting in geographically kind of pinpointing things. Yep, that one's good. All right, who else? You can throw it in the chat too. Either way, you can come off mute or throw it in the chat. Let's see. What's happening in the city you're in? Yeah, absolutely. So when we think about that, we could be like Port Charlotte nightlife, which is where I'm in. It's this really small town in between Sarasota and Fort Myers. So that will be a very non-existent community because there is no nightlife here. But if you're in a big city, like you guys are in the suburbs of a big city, absolutely. You could do nightlife, food groups, things like that. What about if we're specifically talking about like familial type situations? So like single moms groups are popular and homeschool groups, things like that. Dad groups too, believe it or not. So these are all great ideas for things that we can create a community around. So yeah, specifically a neighborhood, right? We could drill right down to a gated community or a specific condo complex or something like that. All right. Pickleball. Is pickleball as big in Illinois as it is here in Florida? It's crazy, right? It's like sweeping the nation. So Clearwater Moms Group, Palm Harbor Dads Group, Dunedin Singles. The single ones could get a little risky, but hey, if you've got the gumption for it, you could certainly do something like that too. You can be there when they're ready for a change in their life and they're ready to stop being single and now they need a home for a family, right? And then like restaurants and bars and that sort of thing, and then families groups. So do any of you currently run a group on Facebook? No?
I do not.
Okay. Well, you got good ideas, so we need to put them in action here. So let me get 3 ahas from the first part, and then we're gonna jump into some hands-on.
My aha is that you can actually do a group and you can share similar interests and use that to generate leads.
Awesome, love it. Who else? Anybody? Bueller. I mean, that's from your guys' area, right? Didn't that movie take place in Chicago?
Yes, it did. You get to be the mayor of your own group.
There you go. Yeah, I love that one too. Because I can tell you that I'm even a part of some groups where I feel like I'm posting well, well within the guidelines and nothing ever negative. And some admin or moderator has some kind of issue with one little thing about a post or a comment, and then it never sees the platform in that community to even spark a conversation. And if you're the mayor of your own group, you get to decide all that stuff, right? We're going to jump into Facebook. So Facebook's going to be my primary platform because of the groups that exist. But that is not to say that you can't create an Instagram profile or a TikTok profile that is along the same lines, right? Of having some kind of community theme to it. So I'm going to show you one that I have done here in the past. Now, I started this a long time ago when this community was brand new. I don't even know how long we've been into this community. I guess it's been probably about 15 years since they broke ground, but it's still like really being developed. And that is Babcock Ranch in southeast Charlotte County, and it borders Lee County. So something simple like Babcock Ranch living, or best things to do in Naperville, or Naperville nightlife, or any of that kind of stuff. And you can decide what that content looks like. Does anybody use ChatGPT? Do I have any ChatGPT lovers in here? Yeah.
Yeah.
Just starting to use it.
Awesome. What was that, Scott?
Just starting to use it. My
Okay.
coach at our market center in Naperville just did a class on it, but unfortunately, being dual career, it's I'm stuck with notes instead of the actual presentation.
I got you. I actually just taught on that last week, so it'll be coming around, and it's on one of these afternoon classes like this. So if that works for you, I do have the recording, so I can send it to you. If you want to put your email in the chat for me, I'll send it to whoever wants it. But ChatGPT is a great way to get posts generated for you that are engaging, right? So we'll just go kind of live right now and look at what that might look like. So, and if anybody has any comments or questions while I'm working away at this, just feel free to interrupt me. It's fine. We got a pretty small group. All right. So I'm going to start a new chat. And that's the thing, too, for those of you that work in ChatGPT or Gemini, do you guys all know that you have Gemini Advanced for free as part of your Keller Williams technology stack?
What is Gemini?
So Gemini is Google's version of ChatGPT. And as a Keller Williams agent, I'll just show it to you here. As a Keller Williams agent, you actually have access to it. So I'm going to see what I got here. All right.
So with Gemini, is it like unlimited things
Yeah,
that you can
we
do?
have
Because
the advanced.
I noticed with ChatGPT, like it kind of stops you at a certain point if you're using like the free one, and it'll give you like a time where you can come back and
Right.
ask it some more questions.
Yeah, absolutely, Latoya. So the free ChatGPT, you have a limited number of outputs that you can get per day, right? The free or the paid version, there's no limit. Gemini, yes, would work the same way, but as a Keller Williams agent, you have Gemini Advanced, okay, which would be like the paid version of ChatGPT. So let me bring this up here. I'm in my KW Gmail, and I'm going to go over here to the 9 dots that are in our Google Calendar or Gmail. and that's going to bring up my full business suite menu. And I'm going to click on the AI star here for Gemini. And we'll just do, since this is included for all of us Keller Williams agents, I'll just work here, especially since some of you have experience with ChatGPT and you may not know about Gemini. Now, I can tell you right now, I'm not as much of a fan as Gemini, but that might be my own problem too, because I don't use it nearly as much as ChatGPT. And ChatGPT and I are like BFFs now. It knows me inside and out. If Gemini doesn't have any training from me on what I like for the output, whereas ChatGPT does. So when I was using ChatGPT in the early days, I would have to ask for specific things that I wanted. So if I was asking for a social media post, I would have to say, create a social media post about blah, blah, blah. Be sure to include relevant emojis, hashtags, and a call to action, right? Now I don't have to do that. When I ask ChatGPT for a social post, it just automatically includes all that stuff for me. So that's what's really cool about AI is as it learns you and what you like, not only does it already save you boatloads of time in your business and your personal life and everything else, but it will eventually save you even more time because you won't have to prompt it with as many words as you used to. Okay, so Gemini doesn't know me at all. We're like, I don't know, speed dating or something. I don't even know if we've been on a first date yet. It really knows not much about anything about me. So let's see what we get from this. You do have different models up here too. So like where I have Gemini up here, 2.5 Pro preview, and you have Flash. So this is all around help. Pro is going to be more reasoning, math, and code. I'm going to try Flash first and see what I get. Typically, anything that has Flash in it, that particular term is going to be much faster in processing and providing the output. But if I don't really like what I'm getting, I might switch and see. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to switch to Flash, and we're going to throw a prompt in here. I'll do my best to be as... make it as great a prompt as I can in a short time here. I don't have this prepared ahead of time. All right, so we're gonna say, please, I always talk nice to the robots because if they take over, hopefully they will remember that and spare me towards the end of their total takeover. I don't know. We'll find out. Did anybody see the news article though, or the press release from, I think it was a TV report, that the creators at OpenAI said that being polite to ChatGPT is costing them like billions of dollars. So here I am continuing to say please and thank you. It's not my money, but I appreciate the output. Thank you. My mama taught me to be respectful, so that's how I operate. All right, so please provide a social post for a public facing Facebook group. And that's the other thing too, when we talk about communities, you can make them public facing or private. It's entirely up to you and what you're trying to accomplish and the audience you want to reach. That this Facebook group has grown organically to almost 2,000 members. And it's a public facing group, so they can find things a little bit better. Again, you still have all the same restrictions that you can put on it. You can, when you first create a group, and we'll go into a demo of creating a group. When you first create a group, you get the ability to prompt everybody who requests access to answer questions. And I highly suggest that you do that. And it can be whatever the questions are. I mean, like if we use Paul's example of dog lovers of South Naperville, you can put in there, you know, what kind of dog do you own? What's your favorite dog? Blah, blah, whatever. But it helps to kind of weed out maybe bots, but also just people that probably aren't going to engage all that much anyway. When it comes to especially my private groups, if they haven't answered the questions, I don't let them in. I have a ChatGPT and AI tools for real estate professionals Facebook group that's a private group. And if people don't answer the questions, I just don't let them in. So anyway, so we got this that has gotten quite a bit of engagement. There are other realtors and stuff in there, business owners, but what it does is it allows the business owners are actually posting like discount codes they have for pressure washing or a deal at the restaurant or things like that. And it just helps with engagement. Again, like we said, if I'm a realtor and I run this group, I'll let other realtors in, but I may not allow them to post all their listings and stuff unless, and this is all up to you, is it okay to post open houses? In my mind, probably, yeah, because we can kind of get a sense of community together and all kind of, you know, go around to the different open houses on a weekend. This also makes it easy if you're doing a neighborhood like this to really put together your own broker open house tours and things like that as well, or have like a big open house weekend, you know, where everybody's invited. So it's kind of up to you how you want to set those rules. All right, so let's jump back to Gemini. We're going to say, please provide a social post for a public-facing Facebook group called Babcock Ranch Living. This group focuses on community life in Babcock Ranch, Florida. It cross promotes businesses within the community. The post should invoke a meaningful conversation amongst the community members. Keep the post positive, engaging, and thoughtful. Okay, here's the other thing that I'm going to do. I use this in ChatGPT all the time. I haven't tried it in Gemini, but I'm going to try this. So one of the things where prompting has gone to is to tell the AI to act as a specific type of person, act as a professional. So like act as a realtor, act as a social media expert, act as an astronaut, depending on what you're prompting it for, right? So I'm just going to try that. Act as a social media marketing specialist. And I don't believe that capitalized. It doesn't need that much detail. Keep the post positive, engaging, and thoughtful. Use a fun and friendly tone. Perhaps asking a question to start the conversation. And I'm going to ask it specifically because I don't know what Gemini does yet. I'm going to ask it specifically to search the internet for info on Babcock Ranch. All right, let's see what we get. Hey, Babcock Ranch Living community. We love seeing all the amazing ways our residents connect and thrive in America's first solar-powered town. Yes, that is true, if you didn't know that. From cheering on our local businesses and at Founders Square, to enjoying the beautiful trails and events. There's always something special happening here. We're curious, what's one small thing that makes living in Babcock Ranch feel like home to you? Is it a friendly wave from a neighbor, the sound of nature, your favorite local spot, or something else entirely? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Let's celebrate the little moments that make our community so unique and wonderful. I love it. All right? Anybody have any thoughts around that? How long do you think it'll take to get engagement? We about to find out.
Probably fast.
What's that?
Probably fast.
Yeah, I would think so. We'll see. All right. Okay. All right, so we'll let that sit there and see what happens. Let's walk through actually creating a group. So when I'm in Facebook, I'm actually going to go over here to groups. Okay, it should be right here in your main menu on the left-hand side. I'm going to go to groups, and I'm going to create a new group. And what do we want the privacy to be, public or private? I'm gonna start. What would you guys like to see? A public group or a private group?
Public.
Okay. Anybody else? That kind of what everybody wants to see. Scott, I just saw your comment. That's right. That's what I talk about when I say the robots are taking over. When I actually teach my ChatGPT class live, I start with this scene from Terminator 2 with the female robot like taking over and going after everybody. All right, so I'm gonna do this as a public group, and it's gonna be dog lovers of Charlotte County. Now, here's the thing I'm probably gonna do first is Google search that or Facebook search it and see if it already exists, right? So I'm going to grab another Facebook tab here. And I'm going to go to search and dog lovers of. Look at that. It doesn't. Dude, Paul, you're onto something. You would think it'd be more popular than that. Right? I didn't even go to a city. I went to a county, and there's like 4 towns in this county. All right, cool. So that's what we're gonna do. Dog lovers of Charlotte County. All right, we're gonna make it public and then invite friends. It allows you to invite friends right off the bat right here, and it will let you go through your whole list. Does it let me go through the whole list? So it gives me a few here on the suggestions, but you can start typing in names or email addresses as well. Once the group is actually published, then you can actually invite there, and it will show your entire friends list and let you invite. Okay, so I'm gonna hit create. All right, and then did anybody hear the good news about Canva? Yeah.
Yeah.
There. We knew in February of last year that there was a relationship there and that it would be coming, but it looks like that process is being sped up, which is awesome. So excited about that. The reason I brought up Canva is because now I got to create some art, right? So I would go over to Canva, and we'll take a look at that and see what that looks like. And right up here at the top, I'm just going to say, I'm going to do a Facebook group cover right there. Okay. That'll bring that up for me. I can choose from any of these if I want to. I will tell you, if any of you have, even with your own business pages, right? Using these Facebook group covers that are in Canva, depending on how the device is that you're using, how it formats it, a lot of the stuff that you have, all the pretty stuff, like we might spend so much time making this thing just look beautiful, and there's all these graphics and text way out to the sides. If people are on a mobile device, they don't see it. It's kind of like with your YouTube channel art too. So I usually just want to pick something that's kind of keeps everything right in the center. And whether you use one of these or not, it's entirely up to you. I'll probably just use something like this. So I'm going to take this and we're going to customize this template. And we're going to get rid of this. What happened? There we go. Okay. So I'm going to delete that and delete this. So then we're going to change this text and we're going to say dog lovers of Charlotte County. Okay, like that. And then actually what I would do in here is everywhere we see all these photos of these people, I'd go in and put like dog pictures, right? You might even ask your community. It's another way to spark engagement is create a post that asks everybody to submit their favorite picture of them with their dog. And then have a, you know, a disclaimer in that and ask them if it's okay if it's used in the channel or, you know, the group art of the Facebook group. And then I can actually put all of the community members' photos in here, and then everybody feels like they're involved. So that's one idea. I'm going to go ahead and share this. So I'm going to download that real quick. All right, and then we'll go back over to our Facebook group. And we're going to edit this. We're going to upload one. And let me figure out where that went. There it is. Okay, so I'm going to put that in there. And I'm good to go. Then I can invite people to join. And this is where I was talking about. It's actually going to bring up our friends list and allow us to invite our friends first, right? But then because it's a public facing group too, people can find it on their own, and then that's where you start to get that organic reach. If it was a private group, I could certainly talk about this group in a post in another social media outlet and have them message me for the link to the group, things like that. So if I wanted to drive interest to a private group as well. All right, so you just check off the people that you want to come in and then add a cover photo, which we already did, and then add a description. So where do you think I'm going to go for that? I would normally go to ChatGPT, but we're going to keep working on Gemini here. I love that. So I'm also going to say, so I'm going to put this in a new chat. This is one thing to keep in mind too, whether it's Gemini or ChatGPT, is when you're in a chat like we are right here with this one, act as a social media marketing specialist, blah, blah, blah. Anything that I do in here, it's constantly going to be referencing what was done before in that same chat, and it's going to use that information. If I don't want that to happen, then I always want to start a new chat so that it lives independently on its own. Okay, so I'm going to go to new chat, and I'm going to say act as a social media manager specializing in Facebook groups. Please provide a description for my public Facebook group called Dog Lovers of Charlotte County. Make it, let's see, use a fun and friendly tone. Let's see what we get. Okay, it's going to give me some different ideas here. That's kind of cool. I like that. It gives me some stuff to think about right off the bat. Welcome to dog lovers of Charlotte County. If your world revolves around wet noses, wagging tails, and endless belly rubs, you found your pack. I like that. This is the best place for all dog parents. The only problem is, Facebook group only allows like a couple lines, and it doesn't, of course, doesn't tell you the characters. That's great. So let me just plug this first one in, see what we get. Okay, so we'll go here and save. Awesome. So that's there. And then let's refresh and see what we get. Cool. All right. Then oh, did I not save that? I didn't save this. Upload photo. This one. And save changes. That's what I forgot to do. Cool. All right. And then we're going to go to, let's see if we got any engagement yet. Nope, not yet. Doesn't look like it. All right. So then I'm going to go back to Gemini and I'm going to start a new chat. And we're going to say, I just started a Facebook group public Facebook group called Dog Lovers of Charlotte County. And I want an engaging initial post to welcome everyone to the group. Let's see what we get. Okay, so I love this one because it kind of talks about what we're going to talk about. Swap tips, ask questions. I mean, they all kind of do in a way. I probably want some more emojis, so I'm going to say use option 3 and provide more relevant emojis and hashtags. All right, so I'm going to take this and copy it, and we're going to go back to our Facebook group, and we're going to make a new post. Okay. All right, so we've got that one started. That's how easy it is to start the community. And depending on, you know, what it revolves around, I think that's a good idea too, is to find one, it's got to be something that interests you because you need to stay engaged with it, right? Just like getting back to the phones. If you guys are good with the phone, that's awesome. It's not my thing. I'm never going to do it. So everybody can tell me to go pound the phones, and I'm going to tell them to go pound sand because I'm never going to do it. Like, I know I'm not. But if I have a community and social media presence in an idea that I love, that I'm passionate about, then, well, if we're talking about in comparison to the phones, I only have to be slightly interested to want to do it more, but you get the point. If I'm passionate about it and I really enjoy it, then that's what I'm going to do. And I'm gonna leverage AI, whether it's ChatGPT, Gemini, whatever your preference is. Hopefully, I opened your eyes to Gemini and the fact that you've got the advanced version of it included in your KW technology fee. So I would definitely use that one, not have to spend any more money on ChatGPT unless you already are. Because Gemini will do the same thing. It will learn how you like the output and it will start to provide it for you. But I'm gonna leverage those tools to build this community. And then what do I need to do if so? Help me think of some ways. I mean, I have some in mind, but I want to see what you guys can come up with. What are some ways that we can engage this particular community? We're going to focus on this. What are some ways that we can engage this particular community to capture email addresses so that long term we're thinking about putting people on a smart plan? What's something that we could do?
Giveaway.
Yeah, could do a giveaway. What else?
Can we do maybe like, I don't know, like an, what do you call it? Like just a video, a Zoom video, like just let them know how to sign up for a loan, mortgage loan. That way get all their information.
Yes, that's a little bit down the road though, right? Because right now we just kind of want to, that's something I might put in a smart plan, right? Like I would build a smart plan that has dog interests and then pepper in some real estate stuff too, right? And then we're going to be cute about it. We're going to leverage AI to provide that messaging based on this dog lovers community. So hey, is your current home getting too small for you and Fluffy or whatever, right? We're going to do things like that and then see if they're looking for an upgrade, and then we can provide that information. I think initially, so if I was just going to do a post here, I don't want to like hit this too hard, like asking them for their information for real estate specifically. It's a great idea down the road, and video is everything. But if we're thinking about something that we can post or advertise for in this particular community, what's something that they'd be willing to give their email address for?
Maybe if you
Latoya?
created like a some sort of event for dogs where they could sign up to participate.
Yeah, absolutely. So along that same line, what I'm thinking of is a meetup of the group at a local dog park or something like that, right? And you can have them provide their email for details. And they might say, why don't you just post it in here? But I think that those are conversations that you can kind of cross when you get to them. I would say, well, we're trying to keep it kind of intimate, so it's only the first 20 people that sign up. Because can you imagine if it was like a 4,000 member group and you had a meetup at the local dog park? I think the cops and everybody else would show up. But you could do something like that where you make it an event, because we can do events within the group too, right? I can do an event. I could create the event. What I would probably do though is I could create a custom page. Here's where we start to tie this in with the technology that we have in command, right? And be able to automatically launch smart plans. I could create a landing page that is the invite for this event, and have a Google form on there that they sign. Well, no, sorry, not a Google form. The inherent form that's in our command technology, like the one that's on our websites. And when they sign up there for this event, then they come right into our database where we can tag them and put them on a smart plan. Or you could go the more custom route of creating a Google form, which again we have access to. So these are all things, all Google tools that we have as Keller Williams agents. We have access to Google Forms, and you can create a really nice looking Google form and have them fill that out. And then you have this list of names and email addresses, phone numbers, if you want to get to that too. And you can enter that information into Command and start to build. One, we're feeding your database, right? Maybe not right now they're looking to buy or sell, but at some point they will, and or upgrade from renting or whatever the case may be. And we're doing this all organically through a community that is not, hey, I'm a realtor, I want to buy or sell a home with you, right? I'm not pounding real estate in their face. Any questions or thoughts around that?
I have a question. How do you find like that balance? Because I just started a Facebook group for my subdivision. It's a
Cool.
private group,
Mm-hmm.
but I of course do want to kind of leverage that for my business as
Yeah.
well. But how do you balance like doing posting things about the community, but then also mentioning yourself in there too as a realtor and your business?
So I would sprinkle it in. So you familiar with the 80-20 principle?
Yeah.
Okay. So like everything else, we would lean on the 80-20 principle. 80% fun and community stuff, and then 20% you're peppering in things about you in real estate, but still keep it coming from contribution or providing value, right? So you might specifically do the market stats once a month, which will take care of some of that content, but do the market stats once a month for that specific community.
Okay.
Okay. And if you're comfortable with it, do it as a video, because the more they get to know your personality and everything, the better off that is for you. But that's one way I would do it. I would also, like, if you're really going to keep a pulse on that neighborhood, you might find out, the most recent sale, and they use this particular type of financing, because the MLS normally tells us that when we close it out. At least my MLS
Yeah.
does, right? We have to tell
Yeah,
it
ours
that.
does too. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So you might discover, hey, they used VA financing for our most recent the most recent sale in our neighborhood. I may not give the address, right? Because you may want these people in your community group, and now you've like singled them out. Not that it's in a bad way, but still, I would say the most recent sale in our community used VA financing. Here's some of the latest information on VA financing. Just kind of
Okay.
like little spins like that, where you're just sprinkling it in, but yet you're showing you're the expert of the community. But you're
Okay.
still keeping a focus on the community and not a
Community.
focus on you as the agent, right?
Got it. I like that.
Yeah, great question. Anybody else? I guess everybody's still at work in Babcock Ranch. They're not paying attention. Well, I know what it is. It's almost 5 o'clock here, so they're probably hanging out at the pool bars and everything else. All right. So, what are some other ways that we could now, Latoya? Let me get back to yours, because you said yours is a private group. I love that idea. I actually like private groups better because they're easier to control. However, they don't grow as fast organically because they're not public facing, right?
Right. Yeah.
They're still searchable to a degree, but they're not as publicly visible as a public page. But I do like the idea of having it private. And then, like I said, is you can tout that group in social posts on other platforms and drive membership to it if you wanted, because let me see. So with your group, would it be people who are even interested in moving to that community, or do they have to live in the community?
No, I would want it to even be people who may be interested in coming into the community.
Cool. So I could create a reel on Instagram or a TikTok that, if you got beautiful sidewalks or whatever, really sets that community apart and is the draw that people love about that community, showcase that in a TikTok or a Instagram reel, YouTube short too. Don't forget YouTube. I honestly believe that all of your content, whether it's short form or long form, should live on YouTube and get repurposed from there. So if I'm creating Instagram reel, I'm gonna record that on my phone, and so the actual recording's on my phone, and then I'm gonna upload it to social media as a YouTube short, as a reel on Instagram or Facebook. Because what's the number one search engine in the world? Anybody?
Probably Google.
Yes,
Google,
sir.
yeah.
You are right. What's number two? I said its name. It's YouTube. So if we don't think of YouTube in the same way, because with YouTube we're like searching content that is videos, but it is a search engine. And it's the number 2 search engine in the world, and it's owned by number 1, and number 1 loves itself more than anything else in the world. So if your content is on YouTube, it's going to get way more Google juice than if you put something on TikTok or Instagram and that's the only place that it lives. So definitely, repurpose that content, but you should always have this stuff on YouTube. And that's another way of digitally farming and organically farming, is that you're getting that search engine optimization of you, Latoya, in this community, and Paul is a dog lover in South Naperville and all that stuff, right? And definitely utilize even those of us that are fantastic with the written word. We may not necessarily understand exactly what search engine optimized text might be, right? So I lean heavily on AI. Whether, for me, most of the time it's ChatGPT. I am going to start working with Gemini a little bit more, though, just to get it trained so that I can really kind of show the difference between the two. But I lean heavily on that because I know what the search engine optimized words tend to be, but I don't claim to know everything. And I certainly don't know as much as this AI does, right? None of us do. And I also can't necessarily think of them when I'm sitting in one, sitting down at the computer in one session, whereas I can just prompt it and it does all of it for me in seconds, and I'm not wasting any time, and I'm getting done what I came here to do. That's the biggest thing. Before AI, I mean, I could tell you, and you all probably have your own stories of it. I'd sit down to do something that was some type of marketing thing that was necessary for my real estate business, whether it's figuring out what to put on an open house flyer just listed, my freaking listing description, right? My MLS description, whatever the case may be. And the words just aren't coming, and so I leave it and I have to come back. I don't have to worry about that stuff anymore with these AI tools. And so I can create a Facebook group like this. I can create the social post. I can create the engaging post to ask questions like we saw in the beginning. I can have it create the script for me as a reel. So that I can have video content around this too. And all of this stuff ties together around the same community of dog lovers of Charlotte County. And it all becomes searchable content at that point. And people can start to find the group, engage in the group. If they comment on one, I can introduce them to the group, right? Like if they commented on Instagram, I can direct them to the group and that sort of thing. So I can really start to build this community, and I'm keeping a nice contained farm area that I'm passionate about spending time in, so that it's actually working for me. And when I do pepper in that I'm a realtor and I'm not letting other realtors in, right? Then when somebody says, all right, that's it, me and Fido need a bigger house, I'm calling Latoya, right? Whatever the case may be. Let's see, what was the other thing? I had a brilliant idea and it left me because I'm getting old. It went right out the other ear. Hopefully I'll think of it. Any other questions around what we've done so far? I know. See, came right back. Boomerang. All right. So, do any of you do old school geographical farming, where you pinpoint a neighborhood and send out postcards? Anybody do that?
I have done it, yeah.
Is it that same neighborhood, Latoya?
No, it was a different one.
Okay. So Angelica, I know you're new. This is kind of an old school technique, but a lot of agents still do it, where I list a house in Woodland Oaks, right?
Okay.
I've never sent a postcard there in my life. This is the first house I've ever listed in that community. And I send out 250 postcards that say just listed, and it shows that house and blah, blah, blah. And that house sells. And then I send out a just sold to those same 250 houses in the community. And then I never geographically farm there again. And I wonder why I got 0 leads from 500 postcards, right? It doesn't work unless you're consistent and you're contained. Contained meaning I'm sticking to these 250 houses in this community, and I'm going to mail a postcard to them every single month.
Okay.
Geographic farming is the same as internet-based leads. They are always going to be 12 to 18 months of continuous activity before you see one lead on the results. So with internet leads, I may get a few internet leads. I run a $50 ad on Facebook, and I might get, let's say, 15 leads from that. Those leads are probably going to be good, at least maybe 2 or 3 of them out of that 15, but they're not going to be good for a long time. It's going to take 12 to 18 months before they're ready to do anything, because when people are poking around on the internet like that and looking at things, most of those leads take 12 to 18 months to come to fruition. And geographic farming is the same way, because where did your just listed and just sold postcard go? Who knows?
The garbage, probably.
Yeah, absolutely, Angelica. That's right. That's right. It went straight in the garbage. And here's the other mistake agents make. Every single postcard they send to those same 250 houses, they're trying to play graphic designer, and no 2 of them look alike. So every time they receive it, it looks like a totally different realtor's or company's postcard, and it goes in the trash. Your just listed, your just sold, your market stats, your open house, all of your marketing should have a very similar look to it. You can tweak a couple of things here and there, but if I was to glance at it, does it look the same across the board? And it should, right? Nike's not so much in like actual like the color palette now, but when you see that swoosh, you know exactly what it is, right? But think about the early days of the Air Jordan shoes. Anybody know what colors they were?
No.
You're working for a company that has the exact same colors.
Red and black.
Yep, absolutely. Red, black, and white, right? It was those colors. In recent years, they've gotten all kinds of colors. But originally when they came out, they were red and black and white. So you think about that. If I saw that swoosh with red, black, and white, I'm automatically going to recognize that that's an Air Jordan. If I start to change those colors, or the logo looks different, now I don't recognize it, and it's not going to have the same weight in my mind. So just be cognizant. That's a big word. Cognizant of that, and really take time when you're thinking about your marketing, especially when you're new or you're rebranding or whatever the case may be. Make sure that you figured out what your color palette is, your fonts, even your logo. and take some time to get it done and then put all the pieces together rather than like sprinkling out, okay, well, here's this with this logo. Oh, I don't like that logo. And then I change it up and I send out more marketing. I think you're really doing yourself a disservice in the long run because the brand isn't a really clear, thought out, consistent brand yet. Take a little bit of time to get that done and then get those graphics out. Same thing here. I mean, it's Dog Lovers of Charlotte County, but I could put a watermark with my logo on here somewhere if I wanted, right? I could put a little, what if I had all these images and then just very kind of incognito, this image had my logo on it. So another way that you can kind of tie things together, and just keep that branding consistent. Don't change any of your postcards, your flyers. Figure out what they look like and keep them that way. Because getting back to the geographical farming, after 3 or 4 months of glancing at the exact same postcard, sooner or later, as that person goes to throw it in the trash, they're going to be like, well, wait a minute, what is this? Because I keep seeing the same thing every month, right? And then they might start to take notice. And then by the 8th or 9th month, they might actually put one of them on the fridge because they're thinking about making a move or they want to keep that handy. But if it always looks different, they're never going to take notice of it. So just keep that in mind when you're thinking about your branding. Let's see. Anybody have any other questions around this or other social media platforms or anything?
Not at this time.
Okay.
I do.
Yeah.
So say I keep hearing this, just to focus on one.
Yeah.
What do you suggest? Because I do Facebook and Instagram, but I don't know what to do.
So you are kind of focused on one if you're using those two.
Okay.
And the reason I say that is because they're both under the Meta umbrella, right? And like Facebook ads in command, if you run a Facebook ad in command, it automatically runs dual channel to Instagram.
Yeah, it sure is it.
Yeah. So a lot of what you do, like even when you post from the apps on your phone, you can actually set it up in the settings to post cross-platform. So if you do post on Instagram, it'll go to Facebook and vice versa. So that's what I would say, Angelica. I think for realtors, Facebook should always be the first place to start because it's where you're going to run ads and things like that too. With that, naturally, you get Instagram out of it. And most of the younger agents for sure are going to be in Instagram anyway. But then you get the advantage of both worlds. So that's what I would say. The cool thing about shooting in the vertical on your phone is that it makes it really easy to just send it to whatever platform you want to send it to, right? I do agree that you should, especially when you're getting started, you should focus on one. As you get the budget for it, there's actually software and AI tools out there that you create one video and it will automatically post to all the platforms for you. Okay, so that's somewhere to go. Does anybody shoot long form video content? So like widescreen and like, 8 minutes or so or more? No? Okay. If you ever do shoot stuff like that, like a podcast or interview, when you think about a community page like this too, and Latoya, I'll use your example. So if this is a community, maybe there's a big July 4th event, like block party thing, right? And you can take regular widescreen, right, landscape video with our phone and film a bunch of that July 4th block party throughout the day. And then I can put it into an AI tool like Opus Clip. If anybody's familiar with Opus Clip, it will automatically take that video and break it into, if the video's like say 30 minutes long, you'll probably get about 20 to 25 clips out of it for reels, shorts, TikToks, whatever you want. And it will auto post for you as well.
What was the name of that site?
It's called Opus Clip. I'll put a link in the text or in the chat for you.
Okay.
Yeah, podcasts, interviews, like maybe you're doing, I mean, you think about it, you could even do, it's not so much necessarily an interview, but you stay on this dog lovers theme. Maybe you interview, a dog and its owner every month, like the dog lover of the month or something like that. And then you have other content that you can get on other socials. Let me grab this for you real quick. All right. Those are good questions. Anybody else? Let's see here. All right, I've almost got it. All right, there we go. Okay, chat. All right, there you go. I love that tool. What's really cool about it is you can set up your brand in it, so your logo, exactly how you like the text to do. So what this software does is it automatically turns the landscape video into vertical video, and it ranks all of the clips on a virality score of how viral it feels these certain sections would go. So it always takes the most viral sections out of the video, and it will create the title, the description, the hashtags, and use emojis, and it will post for you as well. It will provide the on-screen text, and you can choose whether it's bouncing or highlighted text with the speech, all that stuff. So it does an awful lot, and it's pretty reasonable for what it is. I'm certainly not here to sell you anything, but when we talk about how much we save time in this business, because I mean, I do this stuff all day, every day, right? And I still don't have the kind of time it takes to do this if I didn't have tools like that. It's video editing is my nemesis. I have like 50 videos I need to get out. And now at this time, all those videos are stale. It's because I've never had the time to edit them. And then it becomes a really disheartening, evil circle. But, okay. So kind of getting back to the overall theme, we're looking at social media platforms as a way to farm digitally and organically, build a sense of community, leveraging AI tools like Gemini or ChatGPT, whatever our preference is. There's other ones too, Grok and Claude. Like there's a million of them now, right? Not really, like 5 main ones. But we're utilizing those tools to create the engaging content for us. Because even if we go back to, let's see if anybody engaged. No? Somebody wants to post. All right, let's go back to that group. And like even just trying to put all of this together, like, right, I had the main idea, but I'd never be able to word this in a way that makes sense and prompts for the question and everything too. So I'm gonna lean heavy on AI to create the engaging content for me. And then, in groups too, you have polls that you can do. You can create a poll of, hey, what's your favorite restaurant in Babcock Ranch? Is it this one, or this one? And it's just ways to get engagement and keep people engaged and interested in the community, so that the more they stay involved, the more they're seeing your posts and other posts. And when the time comes, hopefully they see that you sprinkled in, here's my favorite restaurants near our community. And they're seeing that you're a realtor in certain posts, and they reach out to you as their expert. All right. Any final questions? Let me get 3 ahas now that we've had this long conversation. What stuck out to you the most?
For me, it's just the massive amount of technology that's actually there. With me being a newer agent and seeing how KW is implementing everything into command, I'm overwhelmed. But it's nice
Okay.
to know that all these resources are there.
Yeah, no, and I appreciate that transparency. A lot of times we talk about it's like trying to drink out of a fire hose, right? And it is. There's a ton of technology at our disposal. Fortunately, we're with a company that provides a lot of these tools for us at a very low cost, or it's already built into our fee, or whatever the case may be. And then you've got people like me here with Pro2Call, and all of your awesome MCTTs within the offices that can help you take this in bite-sized chunks and apply it. The biggest thing is not to get so overwhelmed that you kind of shut down and you avoid it. Like, one of my passions, and it's part of why I started Realty Tech Guru as a YouTube channel, is to get agents to not be afraid of technology, to just understand that it's a tool that can help you save time and money in your business and help you launch or grow or scale your business in ways that you may not have ever thought possible. And even if it's little gadgets, like I got this cool little gadget. Does anybody else suffer from primnesia like I do? You know what primnesia is?
No.
It's when you order so much stuff on Amazon Prime that when it shows up, you have no idea what it was.
What box is that?
Yeah.
I got a coworker like that.
So I got this cool thing that came, and yes, I remember ordering it. But so where's the best? Well, let me present it to you like this. What's the best camera to use for social media?
Your
Your
your phone. It's the quickest.
Yeah, and that's exactly right, Scott. Are there better cameras that exist? Yes. But do you have them with you in your pocket all the time? No. And do they cost a fortune? Yes.
Yes.
The cheapest really good camera, I don't have it here with me, but I use the Osmo Pocket 3 for a lot of content, and it's awesome. But if you get the creator combo that comes with the wireless mic and all the accessories and everything, it's $650, and you already have like a $1,500 phone in your pocket, right? We always get them at a discount because we sign up for 2 or 3 years or whatever the case may be, so we get a huge discount on it. But if you had to replace that phone out of pocket, it's like $1,000, $1,500, whatever the case may be. And it is, especially where they are today, they're some of the best cameras on the market. Like, even if you compare it to a digital SLR, bang for buck, you've got really good cameras in your phone. But when we film ourselves, which camera do we use? Front or back?
Front.
Front.
No.
Front.
Yeah.
And that's the worst camera on the phone.
Mhm.
So this little device I picked up is just a little screen that fits in this part on the back of the phone. It has a magnet on it, so it goes right on the MagSafe magnet, and you hit AirPlay or whatever Android's equivalent is. It's what, Google Play or Google Stream, whatever it is, right? You hit AirPlay on that screen, and now I can turn it around, film with my good cameras, and have a little screen so I can see whether I'm framed or not. Right? So little tools like that are a huge quality of life, or quality of business in this case, improvement for how we go about creating the social media content and marketing that we need to get our names out there. So that's kind of my passion, and you've got so many great people around you. Noel's a buddy of mine there at the Naperville office. He's fantastic, and you've got great people in the offices, and then me here too, virtually. So, for those of you that don't know, we don't do one-on-ones with your offices with the E2P group because you do have in-house people, but I run Pro Desk 4 days a week for 2 hours a day that you guys are all welcome to be a part of. I gotta do the math here because you guys are Central and I'm Eastern. So Mondays it would be 10 to noon for you, And then Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday, it's going to be 9 to 11 Central Time for you guys. And that's an open Zoom room. Ask me anything. You just pop in. I'm gonna put in a website address in the chat for you guys to click on. This is a resources page that we've set up for you. It has a live calendar of the services that we offer and how to join, like ProDesk, which is what I was just talking about, and then how to get into these classes too, which it's the same link, but let me think about it here. So it is Pro2Call solutions.com/E2P. I think that's it. Anybody want to check that for me? Make sure it goes somewhere. Let me see.
Yeah, I went to your website and then helpful
Awesome.
links and resources, and
Yep.
it shows a calendar.
Yeah. So this is a live calendar. This is actually populating from my Google Calendar. So like mine's showing in Eastern time, right? But if you pull it up on your end, it should be showing in Central time. And
It does.
click on it, and then that's the link to join. And it's an Ask Me Anything. If you are having an issue with DocuSign or Command, or you want to know about what podcasting is all about, or you need help with video, whatever the case may be, it's an Ask Me Anything. If it's in my wheelhouse, I'll help you with it. Like I said, the only thing I can't help with is your state contracts and your MLS, because I don't know anything about that software. And then the classes each Tuesday will be here as well. So as I move through here, you can see there's the classes. And if you click on it, it'll have a description of what the class is and all that. And then down here are just some resources. So the emergency email, our hours of operation are the same as your offices. However, those of us that are in real estate, in doing deals, and we have been for a while, does real estate ever happen? Like, do the problems ever happen 9 to 5, Monday through Friday? No. It's after hours. It's midnight. It's, weekends, whatever. So anything that is transaction related, like you have to get an offer written, or you're having a hard time getting signatures in DocuSign done because you got to get this done, that emergency email is to get a hold of us, and we will help you after hours. Okay, I check it period. I go to bed about 11 my time, so it's 10 your time. And if I'm asleep, obviously I'm not checking it, but I'll get to it as soon as I can. But typically that stuff kind of comes up right after the doors close, or within the next, couple of hours. But I'm here to help you at night and on the weekends, holidays too, if need be. And you can just reach me there. ProDesk is just a direct button to get right to these classes or the ProDesk session. Answers.kw.com is like a frequently asked questions about Command and all things Keller Williams, so you can go there. Ideas.kw.com. If there's something you'd like to see maybe work better, or a feature you'd like to see in Command, you can present the idea there. Okay. And then the 66-day challenge is Marty Miller's 66-day challenge YouTube series, which is a really good YouTube series to watch to learn the parts of Command. Marty's a really good guy, and people love his 66-day challenge. He kind of takes everything and puts it into little bite-sized pieces to learn the software in small pieces. All right. That's all I got for you guys, unless there's any other questions. I want to thank everybody for joining me. I appreciate your time and investing in yourselves as well. And my email is, I always forget that. My email's over here. So if you have any questions that come up afterwards, feel free to email me and I'll respond to you.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thanks,
man.
Brad.
You're welcome,
Appreciate
everybody. Yep. Appreciate everybody's participation too. Thank you. It was fun for me. All right, everybody. Have a good night.
You too.
You
Thank
too.
you.
Yep. Bye-bye.
Bye.